Just sitting here. Just got the mall, beat my kids here for a little bit of holiday fun. Haven't seen him in a minute, but saw some news that just broke here on Malcolm Rodriguez that he is out for the season. It has been confirmed by Jordan Schultz that Malcolm Rodriguez did in fact tear his ACL. I don't know if it's a full, tear thickness or not. I'm sure that information will be following later. But man, this Detroit Lions team has totally been decimated by injuries this season. This defensive line has been put into a situation this entire season that Aaron Glenn and Terrell Williams and Calvin Shepard have had to manage and figure out a way to win, figure out a way to put guys on the field, and Brad Holmes having to reach deep into his pockets and deep into other teams' rosters and try to find guys that can step up and play. Dan Campbell said it at the very beginning of the season that all 69 of these players were going to have to play and they were going to have to be part of this team in some way, shape, or form. And I really never expected to see that really come to fruition the way that it has. And now when we're walking into the last, 5-6 games of the season and heading towards the playoffs, and a team that should be playoff bound and a team that should be Super Bowl bound, how are we going to do this is the question. Are they going to be able to sustain the rest of the roster that they do have? Let me think for a second here. We have Trevor Nowaski, who was an undrafted free agent pickup last season that was poached by the Cardinals and then brought back, has played an incredible season this season. Ben Nyman, a guy with a ton of experience, mostly a special teamer, and he gets picked up this season, a guy that I was really high on to help this team. He's absolutely been critical to this team lately. And then a couple weeks back, the Lions lose, Alex Anzalone, and then we pick up David Long Jr., who, quite honestly, that might be the pick that saves this linebacker room. But who's next? Where are we going from here? Abraham Beauplan, is he still available? We have Mitchell Agood. He can definitely play the linebacker role. Is he available, to really step in and help this team win? Calvin Shepard's been doing magical things with a very limited amount of availability from players that have been around this team for a long time. And I guess the big credit that I'm going to give to right now is, hey, breaking news from Eric Rintamaki here. The Lions just signed Quan Alexander. Hey, that's great news. Let me see. I don't know if I can jump out of this, and I probably can't because I'm on my phone. I probably can't jump out of this and bring any information in. But Eric, if you would like to post, any information about Quan Alexander into the chat and let us all know. So Denver's practice squad is where he was picked up from. I don't know enough about Quan right now to kind of give you my take on it. Not that it's worth anything, but I will address it later on. I at least wanted to address Malcolm Rodriguez, man. So if Malcolm does ever see this, dude, you've been an absolute bright light on this team. You fit this team perfectly. You fit everything, that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are about. You're the consummate professional. I actually doubted you a little bit during this offseason and during training camp because we were so deep and this team was so ready to take on this season that I didn't think that you were going to make the active roster. I thought that you were going to make the practice squad. And I have no problem admitting that. And I'm glad that it didn't work out that way because you have been perfect. And I based that off of last season where you seemed to lose reps and you were helping us out on the offense. Then you couldn't fight your way back onto the defense that was playing so well last season. You just couldn't make it into that linebacker rotation. Whereas this season, man, when your number's been called 4-4, man, you've been all about it. And look, I'm going to miss the hell out of Malcolm this season because he's been perfect for this team. But as Dan always says, it's next man up. And right now that's Quan Alexander. And that is probably Beauplan and Mitchell Agood and Ben Nyman, Trevor Nowaski, and Jack Campbell. I mean, Jack is our leader right now. He was taken in the second round, he was taken in the first round, right? For a reason. Pick 18 last season. He's going to have to step up, and he's been playing well. So he's going to have to step up and lead this defense as the field general there from the middle linebacker position and lead this linebacker group. He's going to have to step up and show that nothing changes. From week to week to week, nothing changes. They're going to have to get in there and dig deep and really find who they are and make it happen. So rest of the injury report, if I go from the hip here, if I can remember everything, Pascal kind of had a hard step, I think, on the right knee. What was reported yesterday and again this morning. Possible patella tendon, possible MCL is what I think I read this morning from Dr. Lau. And Levi O, I think, is dealing with a sprain, possibly a sprained knee. So look, we're not looking good. We're not looking good. The benefit that we have right now is we're 11-1, right? So we can manage to drop a game or two and still be in this. So we can still we can still manage and manifest the rest of the season the way that it needs to be. I am really hopeful that if we can get the first seed and we get that first week bye into the playoffs and somehow we can rest some of our guys, whoever we have left, that may give us just enough opportunity to get some guys back. But the guy that we're not going to get back is Malcolm Rodriguez. So that is a big blow. I see the chat going like crazy. I really can't interact with it a whole lot. Looks like Levi's out with a hammy, according to Trace. And then Eric, yeah, if you wouldn't mind just pumping any information about Quan Alexander and let everybody know who he is. I'll follow up with a video later on this evening once I get back home. But that's the update for today. We have lost Malcolm Rodriguez, and on to the next one. I guess it's Quan Alexander. So hope you all have a safe and happy holiday season. Enjoy the weekend with your families. If you're out shopping, please drive responsibly. I've already met a few idiots on the road today, and I only drove to one place, and that was the mall. So you guys have an excellent rest of your day, and my heart and prayers and thoughts go out to Malcolm Rodriguez and, of course, the Detroit Lions family. Take care, y'all. Go One Pride. Go Detroit Lions. We're going to keep doing this. I promise. Season is not over just yet.